Hey, Diane DeWald with CreativeCatCrafts.com. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry I am late today with this video. I'm not going to make excuses. I was supposed to record yesterday and I just did not feel up to being creative. So that's why I'm late today. So we are going to recreate this card. Whoops, I had my little minty tape in the center to keep it closed. I love doing this little fun thing on the inside. And then this on the front, we're going to change this slightly. I forgot I had a white panel and I was supposed to put a white panel in there. So that's going to be the difference of today's card that we're going to actually make on camera. And then you can compare which one, if you have this stamp set or something similar, if you like this layout. So what we are using today is the You Give Me Butterflies stamp dies, and then there's a coordinating coloring stencil. And we're going to color these flowers. So that's the flowers came from that. And then we're going to use Master Layouts 2, the stitched rectangle and the plain rectangle. And if you do not have the Master Layout 2, this is down here in the corner, over here. The mat for the card is the 3 5/8 by 4 7/8, and then this cover plate and the stitched panel, that's the 3 1/2 by 3 3 3/4, excuse me. Then in addition, we used this foiler fillers dies, and here's all the dies, and I used this leaf and this leaf as some added, just some added filler, hence the term filler foliage. And then the 3D, oops, the 3D, I can't get that out of there. It's really stuck on there. This 3D diamonds cover plate, and this measures the 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 so that it completely fits over the stitched rectangle. And here I've got the white panel. I've already cut it out, and then I've cut one of the cover plates from Kraft cardstock. So the cardstock we're using today is my A2 card bases that I get from, oh, let's get rid of that so you can actually see everything. A2 card base, this is 110 pound Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, and I get this from Cut Cardstock. Then I also get from them the 65 pound Pop Tone Black Licorice. I like to use the 65 pound black for matte layers on cards that I know I'm going to mail. I had an issue with all of my Christmas cards last year, which required additional postage on everything. And then this is just some copy paper, and we will get to that in just a minute. And then I've got same thing, oh, actually not same thing. This is 80 pound Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. This is the stitched rectangle. And then I've got some Kraft cardstock, and I'm going to cut out this cover plate from this panel. So let's go ahead and get that done right now. So let me bring in my cutting platform. And when I'm doing an intricate die like this, I like to put a sheet of thin copy paper behind. And oops, I need to flip that. It was starting to bow. Make sure you're flipping your plates. And I have a Big Shot Express that I currently use. I have the Intracut as well, but I like the electronic. And we're going to pull this card in here, right here. I'm going to pause you while I go and get this cut, and I will be right back. So I've got my magnetic plate, and I'm just going to pull that off so that it does not interfere with what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this out of the way because, and now I can slide that off. And we're just going to completely pull the frame or the leftover piece from around this frame. I'm going to pop this out, hoping a lot of those centers come out. I did run this through twice on my machine. I had to kick off my shoes. And some of it came through, some of it did not. And it looks like I only had one piece on here that stayed. Now this is why I like using the copy paper. Now, sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. And you can kind of see some of those came out, but also I like using the copy paper behind because look how easy these are falling out. So I'm getting the big diamonds out of the way. And then the pieces along the sides. And then I'm just using my thumbnail, and I'm dragging it across here. Why don't I get you in a little closer so you can see this? Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, not super close, but close enough. Oh, wow, I have big hands. So I'm just taking my thumb and I'm just gently dragging it to kind of try to pop those out so that they easily fall out. This worked better. Oops, how about I put you in shot? Sorry about that. I moved my camera setup down a little, so I'm used to reaching. So let's see if this will do what I'm explaining. There, you can see that it just, and this is, it looks like I'm rough handling this, or handling it pretty rough, but I'm not. And again, I'm stretching too far forward. I'll get used to it eventually. So there, it's easy peasy, it's out, and I'm going to move you out a little bit because you don't need to be that close. And then let me grab my trash can because I've got all these pieces that are going to go everywhere. And I have a cat that likes to eat paper. I occasionally come in here and she has pulled stuff out of my recycle bin. And it's everywhere. So let me grab my glass mat. I finally bought from Glassboard just a itty bitty one. And the inks we're using today, Cherry Red, Marigold, Dark Chocolate, and Fresh Asparagus. And I did also, I pre-cut out the flowers from the stamp set. Let me grab that real quick. And I'll grab the stencil too because we're going to need that here in a minute. So the flowers we're using is this flower and this flower. So we're going to use two of the larger and one of the smaller. And Fresh Asparagus, I cut out those foliage fillers. That's the name of the set. And this I actually cut out of 110-pound Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. And sorry for the sniffle. But these are the inks we're using. And I just grabbed my ink cubes because when we color, it's going to be a much smaller brush. I'm going to use the detail brushes for that. Now for right now, and you don't need to be too much closer than that. For this, I'm going to use my Gina K standard blending brush. And I'm going to do this on the glass mat because I want to start off, and I'll start in the middle and using fairly firm pressure, not really hard, going one direction and then the other. And I'm just doing the edges. Let me load this up really well. Because I'll show you the card here in a minute once I get this. I want the center to stay Kraft. Just to give a little more depth and interest. And in all honesty, I took the blending boot camp, and this one I'm using some fairly firm pressure because I'm trying to get a lot of ink in a short amount of time. Most of the time you're blending, you want to be light-handed. That's the effect I'm looking for because I want the center to have that lightness to it. So we are done with the large dark chocolate. Now this was dark chocolate ink on Kraft cardstock. And let me clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay, you've seen me do this before. I have my die cuts here and we'll get those done here in just a minute. But I will link a video on 3 different methods that I demonstrated recently. Well, and depending on when you watch this video, of lining up so your die cuts to do mass production. And this is my favorite out of the 3. And it's the one that gets me the best results. So I'm going to show you, I'm just going to do one of these on camera and then I'll do all of them off camera. And I'll do the same thing when we're coloring. I'll color a couple of these on camera and then do the rest off so that you're not sitting here all afternoon watching me, or all morning or all evening watching me color and stamp. I was going to do these with a block, but for some reason, and it could be my ink pad. My ink pad may be a little dry, but there you go. You've got perfect die cuts. Pull this up over here. There, perfect die cuts every time. So I'm going to pause you. I'm going to finish these. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have these fun little leaves. And I have a bunch of them and they're pointed different directions. And the cool thing about these is there's a little bit of detail on these. And I'm going to use fresh asparagus. Oops. I need to put these a little further apart from one another so that I don't. So let me see if I can get you closer so that you can see some of this detail. I think you can see it. And I may have my exposure. Nope, I'm good. There we are. Okay, so I'm using a Gina K, yes, I label them. This is my dark green, but this is my Gina K Designs detail brush. And let me open up my fresh asparagus and load this up. And I'm going to start down here at the base and just kind of work it in. And I'm going to try to work it into, oops, and you can't see that one. Let me move up to one of these, this one right here. So I'm going to start at the base, work up the center, and I'm working in a circular motion, and I'm changing directions. So you see how that veining just kind of popped out? So I'm going to go back and just work up the side and try to blend that out a little bit and see how much dimension that makes. This is the one I was working on off camera, and I'm just going to blend this out a little bit. But look how much dimension that adds to a leaf. And I have these on my Gina K Designs sticky mat. There, just add a little more and kind of blend that out a little bit. These are working out very nicely. And then change direction and then go back and blend the sides out just to give a little more dimension to that leaf. See the difference? How flat versus how dimensional that looks? I think that looks very nice. It just pops these leaves right off the page almost. But I am literally, this cardstock is fresh asparagus, and I'm literally using the fresh asparagus ink. See how nice those leaves are turning out? Just add a little more. I want those to really pop, those veinings. Okay, this one right down here. I think those are turning out very nicely. So let me pull these off and get this set up for the next thing. Okay, now we're going to do this flower, and my head's going to get in the way, so I do apologize. I am lining up. I don't want to see any of the black ink, and it doesn't completely go edge to edge. And then stick that down. So you can see there's just a little bit, and it looks like I didn't have that centered, but it's just how the stencil was designed. So we're going to start out with marigold, and we're going to do that center. And again, I'm using the detail brush, and I need a piece of piece of paper towel. Let's finish the thought. And just want to wipe off that, gently wipe off the ink. And I'll cover the marigold. And we're going to start with cherry red. And again, I'm bringing in this detail brush, and I'm not so much worried about building and blending. I'm just laying color. So it is a light hand to start with, and then I'm going one direction and then I'm going the other. And I'm going to turn this just because it's easier. I love this is from We Are Memory Keepers, I think. I'll have everything I use, I will have linked down below. And if it's an affiliate, I'll earn a very, very small commission. It's how I purchase product so that I can bring demonstrations like this to you. Nobody sends me product to demonstrate. I'm not paid to do demonstrations. I purchase all of my products with my own money. So now we're going to move on to dark chocolate. And oh, before I do that, I do want to wipe off the excess ink from the stencil. I don't want to cross-contaminate colors. And all I'm doing is I'm loading up the dark chocolate, and I'm just just the top edge of the flower. So you can see this is a little darker here, but I move you in. So you can see this is a little darker right here. So I am literally, make sure I get that on the right. I am literally, oops, that was too dark. We'll try to blend that out. Yeah, that was too dark. But that's okay. That's why I have multiples. I just want a hint. And then we're going to go back. So I'm going to do the same thing. I want to wipe off that excess ink. Hello, Sylvie. She has been downstairs crying and crying because she wants me to play. Let's see if we can blend this out. I may have messed this one up. I'm going to cover that chocolate. I have done that before where I have stuck my blending brush in the wrong color. Okay, let's wipe off that excess ink and let's reveal. Oh, it's not as bad as you think it. Oh, sorry, I was not in shot. It's not, you can see as a close up the bubble. So let's go ahead and do another one. Let's get this centered so you can see it. And yeah, I was going to town with that brown on. Okay, hang on. Doop. I was going to town loading that brown up on that blending brush. Okay, perfect. Okay, start with you in the middle. Cover the red. We're going to open the marigold. We're going to get that flower center. And then we're just going to pull that off. Cover the marigold. Sorry, my arm's in the way. Uncover the cherry red. We'll do this around the edge again. Ooh. I got to get my inks out of the way. Bump that right into the ink. Almost done with the first layer of red. Okay. Trying to pick up as much of that around the edge. Okay, so I'm going to wipe the edge, the outside of that stencil. And let's get the brown, the dark chocolate. Make sure I got my brown brush. And then pounce it off. And I just want the edge. See, that's what I want. I just want just the edge. That's what I'm looking for. Oops. I'm trying to hurry because I'm late with the video, so I apologize. This will be a longer video. Okay, let's clean that brown off and get back with the red. So let me cover the brown so I don't stick the red in the brown. Oh, that looks nice. This is the effect I was looking for. Use up that ink around the edge. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for. That's beautiful. Definitely what I was looking for. So I'm going to pull you back out. So the difference between the two, you see just a little bit of darkness there. And when you're not like super close, you really don't notice it. So I'm going to do a few more flowers plus the smaller one, and I'll be right back. Okay, I did forget that I wanted to do something fun on the inside. So let's go ahead and get this guy picked up and grab my Memento Tuxedo black ink. And I'll clean this up real quick. Put the stamp away and color that flower. And I'm going to, there's my stencil. Couldn't find my stencil. I'm just going to color it right in here. Oops. There we are. There. And because it's me, I'm just going to put a couple of Post-it notes right there. And let's get our marigold. Let's get our center. And paper towel. There, pulled off some of that. And hang on, cats are doing something weird. Cats were slapping one another. So, okay, this is the dark chocolate. And just getting just a little bit. It's the same thing I did with the other flowers. I'm just coloring the dark chocolate first. Okay, so let's pull the excess chocolate off and get our cherry red. And pull that in. Oops. Pull those ink cubes closer to me. Get some red down here on the corner. Deepen this red. I think this is really stunningly beautiful. I want that corner really red. Okay, let's pull this up and see what we got. I think that's gorgeous. So I'll clean this up. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have all of my pieces and parts, I'm going to show you a little trick of what I'm going to do. So this is the dark chocolate ink pad. And I am coloring the edge of the white layer so that it does not stand out from the side. And then I'm just coloring a little bit of the edge as well. None of that will show. There, and then I'm just going to set this aside. So let me get you in close so you can kind of see what this looks like. And put that in the background so you can see. I think you can see that it's not white anymore on the edge. Okay, pull you back out. Let's assemble this a card. Let's assemble this a card. I don't know where that came from. So I'm going to grab my silicone mat, and this is from my Stampin' Up! Days. It's perfectly good mat. I don't sell Stampin' Up! Stamping Up stuff anymore, so it's fine. And I am going to use Gina K, her Connect Glue, the matte, because this glue, it's going to show. And this is great because this dries clear. And I'm just throwing a thin bead of glue in various places on this cover plate die cut. Trying to keep my fingers out of it. It's kind of hard. Make sure I'm in shot since I'm moving this around. Okay, and let's see if we can put these two together and have it line up somewhat. You can see some of the glue poking out, and that's fine because it's, you know what? It's gonna dry clear. And my big block, and I noticed while I was doing my sample card earlier today, this block, I dropped it and it's cracked on the inside. There's a bunch of striations. So while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over to my Tombow glue. Ooh, I need to clean off the nozzle. A lot of gummy residue. So we're just going to, this is the inside panel that I colored. Get this on here semi-straight. Oh, hey, that was good. That was good. So let me move that over to that. And let me, this is my card base. Ooh, I need to move you out a little bit more. And let's go ahead and score and burnish this down with our, I'm going to call it a Teflon bone folder. It's made of Teflon. It's not bone anymore. They used to make these out of bone. It's not made of bone. So my inside, I'm going to go ahead and glue in. Perfect. And grab a piece of mint. Oop, that's got something on it. I don't want that. I don't want to chance it coming off on the inside of my card. So grab some low tack tape. I'm going to turn this guy over. Use my matte glue again. And we're not putting it on that. I'm not talking because I'm concentrating on trying to get this glue. I think I need to put more in here. Center of each of these diamonds so those stick down. And then my thumb was stuck on the side right there. So here's my coated white piece. Get this lined up quickly. Yep, it's lined up. Okay, there. And I just drug glue across here, so let me grab paper towel. Where's my paper towels? And sorry if that got wonky. I need to clean this glue up off the table. Okay. Let that dry. What's this? Oh, this is the mat. I was like, what is this? Okay, let's pull that over. Camera, focus on that. Oh, that really changes it. Okay. Okay. Press that evenly down. That's really pretty. That is very pretty. I love that. The depth and dimension, and while that hangs out and solidifies, is it straight? Yes. Okay. And now I've got my dimensionals that I have from Stampin' Up. And we're going to use a thank you. And this is from, what is this from? Love Notes. I love this. Thank you. It's nice, large, and I just love that. And then the happy birthday on my original, it's from Spring Clusters. It says happy birthday right here. So let's, oh, cat hair. Yes, I had to break up a cat fight. Which one of these do I want? I want these two and that. So let's go ahead and get all these turned over. Get my large dimensionals. And I highlight these backings so that I know when I pull the backing off. That's my little trick. And whether I use Stampin' Up or Gina K or any of the others, I would do the same thing. So before I put that, so here's our layout. I want the same kind of layout, and we're going to kind of do the same thing. I like that layout. I really do. And I really like it with the white background. I don't dislike the black, but I think everything just kind of pops off a little more. But then I don't know. The washout in the center kind of washes out where you can kind of see a little more of it against the black. Interesting. So let me go ahead and pull the backing off of these. Let's get this one down first. Going to hang over the side a little. That's perfect. And then this guy, it's going to go right there. Whatever poke tool you have, I just happen to, I use my Cricut one and I've used it for years. Make sure I don't tack anything down. There. I'm going to move these leaves off to the side. We'll put those on last because that just got there. And then this, let's go ahead and get these pulled off. Just like this. And then for here, let's do some of the smaller ones. Nope, that's the bigger ones. I have one left here. One here. Trying to strategically place these. The A. Put one right here. Oh, my cat hair. Like I said, I had to break up a fight. And right there. Okay. See, you can tell they're not yellow anymore. And then, let me cover this glue up. This has been, yep. It's been out too long, or open too long. The glue that was on the nozzle dried. Nope, okay. So, I want a little glue up here, and a little glue here. And down here. And let me get the card straight, and then I'm using my overhead camera to help me place this. Perfect. Oh, I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, so now these leaves. And get a couple of these on. And we'll tuck them in. So let's go ahead and pull all of these off. And get them tucked down. There. Just like that. And then over here, we're going to tuck this guy in down here. This guy, we're going to tuck in over here. Oh, I like that. And then last but not least, let's get some bling on here. So these just happen to be from Spellbinders, the Gold Smooth discs. Normally, I use my Cartwright sequins. So let's get one here. We'll do another here. Do a small one here. One right here. Another one here. And we'll see. And I'll get my Gina K stick and pick, or pick and stick. There's a medium. Let's get a larger one right here. And then we've got some babies. The smaller. There's 3 different sizes in this. How does that look? And 2, 4, 5. I'm going to put one here. Come on, there we go. And oh, my Sylvie is just having a grand old time. Let's put one right here. Need to turn this little guy over. Come on. Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming along on this journey today. Let me wipe that off. Close that up before I have to go run it under hot water and soak it for a while. I think these cards turned out absolutely beautifully. I'm waffling between the two, black versus the white background. I actually think the black does more justice to the shading right here. I'll have everything linked down below, and while you're down there looking for anything that I might have used today, if you'd hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel or have not yet subscribed, and then hit the notification bell so that next time I upload a video, you receive notification. Also, while you're down there, if you would hit that like button, I would very much appreciate it. And until I see you next time, happy stamping!